America's largest retail bookseller exceeded its expansion plans for 2024. 57 new Barnes & Noble locations this year, and you're going to open even more. That's the plans for 2025. Join us now to talk about the brick and mortar comeback, consumer trends, and more is James Daunt, Barnes & Noble CEO. So not only, it's good to have you on. Good to have you on set. Not only can you buy books online, you can read books online. There's something called Netflix, so that no one reads anymore. And yet the demise of your business was, once again, greatly exaggerated. Business is great, is it not?
It's been, the end has been called many times. I think television was going to stop kids reading, and it's kept on going, but books have always triumphed. And actually amongst a young audience, a huge dynamism amongst young adults.
I can explain Best Buy because you need help. I can explain Barnes & Noble too. I want to walk around through the shelves with a Starbucks or whatever it is that happens to be there that you can do. That's an experience that isn't the same as...
It's discovery and it's a social space.
And there are different sections.
You come out of it feeling good.
And you hold it in your hand and you page through that. So it's never going away, is it?
I don't think so, as long as you do it well enough. You need to create lovely spaces. Bookstores have to be friendly. They have to be open. And if you have them beautifully presented, you're never going away.
Did you have to get your multi-channel act together, and is it totally together now?
Sadly, no. We are trying to get it together. We're on the way to getting it together. But no, what really matters is we have physical stores, which are each a little bit different, have real personality, and they're fun to be in.
Is there a reason that, can you just stay that way? Do you have to embrace what everyone else, do you have to do what everyone else is telling you to do at this point, or could you just do this better?
You should concentrate 100% on doing this better, but also people like to use online. They like to reserve books. They like to use it to sort of just as a prop to the stores. But it's the stores that matter and the booksellers in them.
I bet you when Too Big to Fail came out, didn't you go around and look at the displays, and there'd be 50 books on a table, and there'd be a little...
Well, yeah, you wanted to be on the front table. You wanted to get what they call a ladder.
How do you do that on... Can you do that online? You can't really do that on... You hope that there will always be a Barnes & Noble.
Well, the equivalent of the ladder is people are paying now for promotion on an Amazon or on your site, right?
They don't pay us
They don't pay you even on the website?
In the stores on the website,
they pay zero. But in the old days, they did.
In the old days, we took most of our money that way. But that stopped in 2019 when I took over. And by giving each store total control over their own curation, right, you get much more dynamic stores, and it's much better now.
I would think even the greatest for example, let's think Lord of the Rings. Amazing movie, Best Picture for Return of the King. Still not as good as reading the book. You still can't replicate that.
And each of us reads it in a different way and over the ages. I mean, I read Lord of the Rings when I was probably 12 and reread it 5 years ago or so, and it's still just fantastic.
Science fiction, you can't do science fiction. What your mind is capable of when you're reading it can never be replicated on any screen, I don't think. So I think your future is bright.
Are you capturing the 12-year-olds, the younger generations at this point? Do they come and buy books? Do they want to buy e-books? Like, how does that work for...
If you're in our stores at sort of around 3:30, they'll be quite empty. Maybe not at this time of year, but generally. Come in at 4 p.m. and they'll be full of kids as the school's empty. We are an absolute magnet for young people. And then right through into young adults. That is where the real energy of stores come. It always has done. Harry Potter and then all the great things.
Does it take a Harry Potter or one of the romance novels, the teen romance novels? Does that really bring kids out? And it has to be something that grabs them. Maze Runner?
It does, but we have one month after month after month after month. So it's part of what we do. And it's different around the country. We've seen it with Book Talk, which is this huge explosion of young kids engaging with books and proper books.
How concerned are you about tariffs? And I ask because a majority of books today, I believe, are printed in China.
Actually, a relatively small amount of colour books. So if you buy a cookery book or something with lots of photographs and colour in it, then it may well come from the Far East.
Okay.
It's black and white, which is the vast majority of what we do. So
you're not concerned about the prices going up?
No, we have a lot of the paper comes from Canada, so there is a little tension there, but it's domestically printed on paper, some of which is sourced from Canada in particular.
And our price, what's the average price point of a book these days? It's gone up materially.
It's been actually relatively stable. A softcover will cost you $18 or so. Hardcovers are now sort of 25 to 30, more if they're big. But prices actually have been, inflation has not been our friend from a business perspective. Books remain of extremely good value.
What can AI be used for you? What would you use? You don't need AI, do you?
We don't need AI.
Thank you.
We really don't.
I'm glad there's some place that doesn't.
But how concerned are you that actually there's going to be just a massive number of books, maybe not the books that are sold in your store, but digital books and other things, because just they can be created?
There will be an explosion, but again, that isn't in our stores. And actually, that's the real power of the store. It's actually a curation. It is about booksellers deciding, each for their local community, what are the books that interest our customers.
Right.
And it's that curation that a bookstore brings.